Happy Pride Month! Please ignore that I have one hand done, one hand not. I know that's like a thing which is really irrelevant to the video, but like I feel like if I was watching a video that's something I would notice, it would annoy me, but I do them myself, and I realised halfway through doing this that if I did both of them it'd be too late to film. So you know, like, anyway, what? This is irrelevant. Hi! So as I was going to do last year, I was going to make the whole month of June Pride Month on this channel, as it is Pride Month anyway, but make it Bookish Pride Month and just talk about LGBTQ plus fiction and non-fiction and just LGBTQ plus literature. And that was something which I was totally 100% planning on doing last year. Got 2 videos in, and then I was in hospital for a week because my body is fab. So that is what I am going to do this year. Hopefully we won't have any other hospital stays. You know, it's all good. I have some appointments, but hopefully they shouldn't be stays. So there we go. Obviously, if you are not new to my channel, you know that I make LGBTQ plus content anyway and talk about books like this all the time, but it's nice to have that 1 month where I can talk about all of it all the time, and that there's a couple of books I've got recently, and it just allows me to have that, to really draw some attention to some literature over the course of this next month. I've got some really new exciting ones that I want to share with you that I'm excited to read because I'll be reading them this month, and also just some general recommendations, and then also to discuss upcoming ones. I'm also thinking of having just some general chatty videos as well, about particular topics. So if there's anything you'd like to see, any type of recommendations you'd like to see, or any videos you'd like to see over the course of this month, then do let me know down below and I will get right on that. I am super excited because I got some books recently, which some of them I've read, some of them I haven't, and I'm absolutely loving and are great, and I'm so excited to read. So I thought I would kick off this month of videos by sharing some new ones that I got recently with you guys. Okay, so some of these are physical books, some of these are on my Kindle, so I'm gonna get my Kindle unlocked. So the first one that I got is Ash by Melinda Lowe, and this is actually a LGBTQ plus retelling of Cinderella. Now, you know me, I love retellings, I love different versions of stories that I know and love, and different takes and different authors like perspectives of these stories, because I think stories that have been around for so long, particularly fairy tales, everyone takes it differently and everyone can have their own interpretation. So I get so excited when I read retellings. I know they're not for everyone, but they're something that I really, really love. And this is something that I've heard loads and loads of good things about. And it is the general story of Cinderella. There is a girl called Ash, and when her parents are both gone, she finds herself a servant in her evil stepmother's house, and it just doesn't seem like she's ever going to escape that. But she's completely unaware of her mother's legacy and this magical place that that legacy could take her to. I'm so excited to read this. I haven't gotten around to this one yet, but I'm really, really looking forward to it. I've heard so many good things. I've heard lots of people say it's really, really good, and I'm excited to read it this month and share it with you guys when I have read it. But this is one that I have got recently that I'm super excited about. Okay, so like this is technically another retelling, not really, but technically like it has themes. It still has the buy one get one half price sticker on it. But this is Alice in Wonderland by Simon James Green, who is the author of No I Can't Even, which is just hilarious. I actually met him because he was the moderator of the Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera talk that I went to last year, and he is fab. He is so good. And this is about a boy called Alex who is very socially awkward, and he feels as though his summer is not going to be the best and he's not looking forward to it. But then he ends up getting a job in Wonderland, which is a rundown amusement arcade. When he gets to Wonderland, everything is not as it seems, and everything unfolds from there. I really, really love Simon James Green's books. I love the stories that he tells. They're funny and serious and have really good themes in them, and I love the way he writes. So I'm really, really excited to read something else from him because I haven't read anything since the Noah book. So I'm really, really, really excited for this one as well. Then recently I also got The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this is going to feature in another video of mine which is going to be coming this month, because I didn't know that this book was LGBTQ plus fiction. I'd heard so many things about it and no one spoke about that, and I think a lot of people didn't talk about it because it was a spoiler, and like I get why people might think that, but sexuality should never be a spoiler for something. And this book is amazing. This book broke me to the point where I dreamt about it for 4 nights solid. This book is so good and so amazing and just insane. Like, this book just ruined me in the best way. I didn't see things coming. I did see things coming. I knew things were going to be connected, but I didn't know how. And just, this book is so amazing. The whole story between Evelyn and Celia was just so bittersweet and emotional, and just everything that happened, every end of a chapter just made me want to know more. And I just read so much of this book in one sitting because I just couldn't put it down. This book is amazing. I'm so happy I bought it. I literally bought it and then within like 2 days I'd finished it. Please read this book. I know everyone talks about this book, but please read this book. It is so good, so wonderful and amazing, and I cannot recommend this book enough. Look, like, I've literally like read it to pieces. It's so good. So good. Then I got Girl Man's Up by Emmy Girard, and this is one that I'm really looking forward to reading. I've heard lots of good things about this one, and when I saw it in the shop and thought, oh, I have heard about that, but I'm just going to refresh myself. One thing I do all the time whenever I go into a bookshop now is I'll just go on Goodreads while I'm in there and look at the reviews for any of the books, and this had a really good review. People were saying that this was really important, so I ended up picking it up. This is about a girl called Pen who just wants to be the girl that she's always been, but people think that the way she dresses means that she wants to be a boy, and she doesn't want to do that, and she feels as though if she dresses the way her parents want her to, as like a girl, it's going to show respect, but then if she dresses the way her friends want her to, it will be loyalty. So, and she's just trying to sort of see where she fits in with all of this. This book seems to be just a really big exploration of self and who you are, and kind of being yourself for you rather than the people that are around you, and I'm really looking forward to picking this one up in June. This is a book that I actually mentioned in my last book haul, but that I wanted to talk about again here because it is relevant to what we're talking about, and it's something that I have only mentioned that one time and that I'm planning on picking up this month, so I thought I would share it with you anyway, and that is Pulp by Robin Talley. I love Robin Talley's books so much. They're so good. I cannot express how much I love them. This is her most recent one and I'm so excited to pick it up. This actually is in two perspectives and in two different times. The first perspective and time is 1955, and we have 18-year-old Janet who has to keep the love that she shares with her best friend a secret. And then Janet discovers a series of books about women falling in love with other women, and it kind of ignites her desire to write, but she's still trying to keep everything in her life a secret because to be gay in this time is a sin, and she doesn't want anyone to know, and she doesn't want to expose herself and her best friend and the relationship that they have. The next perspective that we have is 62 years later, and we have Abby, whose senior project is classic 1950s lesbian pulp fiction. There's one author that she finds called Marion Love, and she feels particularly connected to this author, and she wants to go and find out her true identity, who she was, but everything she starts to unravel is a little bit more than she thought she would initially find. I love the way Robin Talley writes. The way she does representation is so good and always so just well done, and she writes amazingly. She wrote a book called Our Own Private Universe, which is one of my all-time favourite books ever, and I just love her entire writing style and the way that she writes and the things that she writes about, so I'm super excited to read this one as well. Now let's talk about the ones I got on my Kindle recently. The first one that we have is Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn. This book focuses on Alice, who is asexual and biromantic, and the book starts I've read this one with Alice's girlfriend breaking up with her because of that book, and the book is a really great exploration of that and how she feels towards that. I would say this book is kind of educational as well. It teaches the reader about these topics that they might not know about it, but I feel like it's such an amazing representation of that, especially with the biromantic side of things as well, and discussing that attraction to people and everything that comes with that. And it's obviously different for lots of different people, but this book was a really good kind of way to explore that and talk about that, and I really loved Alice as a main character. I thought the other characters that we met, her friendships with people, relationships with people, were really good, and I just feel like this book is amazing. It's very well written, really good, fantastic asexual representation, and this is another one I'd really recommend as well. This was the first one I got on my Kindle after using it for a couple of months, and I loved it. Then finally I got These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling, and this is about Hannah, who is a witch. She is like a full-on elemental. She can control fire, earth, water and air, and she lives in Salem, I just love any book set in Salem, genuinely, in Massachusetts, but she has to keep herself a secret, and the fact that she's a witch a secret, because if she's ever seen using it in front of a non-witch, a non-magical person, then she could lose that magic forever. Hannah just spends most of her time avoiding avoiding her ex-girlfriend, hanging out with her best friend and working at her job. When evidence of dark magic starts to appear all over Salem, Hannah's kind of wanting to avoid her ex-girlfriend situation is the least of her worries, and lots of other things start to go down. I've heard so many things about this book. I've heard so many good things about it. I love books about witches and I don't read enough of them. I want more. There's two. The Lost Coast just came out as well, which I need to get my hands on. So I want to read The Lost Coast, which is also one that I will be planning on reading this month, hopefully, if I can get it in time. And then also These Witches Don't Burn, which is another one I'm really excited about. So I'm super excited to read this one and finally pick this one up. I've heard so many good things about it. Again, I've been scrolling Goodreads, so many good reviews. So I'm super excited to pick this one up as well and start it and make my way through it as well. So those are some LGBTQ+ books that I've got recently that I am hopefully planning on reading this month. I'm planning on reading these, discussing them in my videos, doing reviews, and then also making these other videos as well. Like I said, if there's any videos you'd like to see specifically this month, please let me know by leaving a comment down below. And if there's any books that you've gotten recently that you're planning on reading or any that you would recommend, please also leave them down below as well and recommend them to me. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandomy things, so if you want to stick around and join us, then you can do that. And as usual, all the links to all my other social medias will be in the description below, so if you want to come hang out with me on there, you can do that as well. I hope you guys are doing really well, and I will see you next time. Bye!